I get asked all the time, kind of where my history is, and the love of my life, so to speak, is music. And how that ties in with medicine is I'm still unclear about that, but I would say 90% of the physicians that I know are also musicians and pretty accomplished musicians. But they don't play that for their avocation or vocation, but they sure do enjoy music. So for my past, it was interesting. I was on a path to finish a music degree, and science was also fun because I won the the local and also state science fair way back in high school, and I even competed in the national science fair. I didn't do quite as well, but that was obviously science was another path for me to go down. So I finished my music degree, and at the same time I was working on my science degree, and all my friends at that time were medical people. They were all getting accepted in medical school. And so I decided to kind of say, 30 years of playing music on the weekends and writing music and, playing with the symphony and then go doing rock and roll, jazz and blues on, in the evening was a rough life. And my friends who were doing that were all struggling musicians. And I said, that's probably not for me. I really want something that I can have security for my family. And my friends saying, Bob, why don't you come into medical school? You should do this. And I originally thought that I wasn't quite up to that caliber, but actually in the back of my mind, watching my friends, and I don't want to come around like egotistical or anything, but I thought to myself, if they could do it, I know I can do it. So I finished medical school and went residency with Michigan State University, and it all worked out very well. And I think the music part of my life really makes me relatable to people in my practice. And people have actually said that. Part of who I am is a musician. And I really enjoy that. I got my guitars on the wall, I've got my sticks and practice pad there. I've got a music studio upstairs with, keyboards and other instruments, and, double bass set with, 10 drums and electronic drums, all sorts of stuff. But it's just practice, and I really have a passion for that. It really helps clear my head. But what's interesting, I think the art of medicine really shines in my practice. I think the relationships that we have with people also that are very near and dear to my heart is vitally important in medicine. So there's really a nice collaboration there between my music, my art, and what we have in medicine, practice of medicine. So here we are with, the practice of medicine tied with the love of music, which also makes me kind of artsy. So for years and years, when I was going through education, I had plastic surgeons and other ear, nose, and throat surgeons, and people tell me, you should really be a surgeon because you're really mechanical. And I am, because my first life was an auto body mechanic over in Goodrich for years. It got me through college. And so they really wanted me to become a surgeon, but it really wasn't part of my future. It just wasn't part of me. I wasn't feeling it when I was going through my education. So for years I've been connected with the aesthetics side of the business, and so we finally got some equipment, and the technology came through in medicine to where we could really tie in all my strengths, all the loves of my life, and all the things that I truly have a passion for have come together now with this business of in-mode aesthetics, as well as taking care of some very complicated issues that happen with female health. And you can go to other videos and go to AskDrBouvier.com and understand a little bit more about where my passions are, how it ties in with everything, and how it relates to you and your healthcare, and how you can take your level of health care, step it up a couple of paces, and really get some quality back into your life that you may have lost. Again, this is Dr. Bouvier with Doctor and You. Go to Ask Dr. Bouvier and learn a little bit more about the truth of medicine, because I will always give you the truth.